everyone, and welcome to this week's EdTech Tuesday video. This week I'm going to be showing you how to include GIFs or GIFs in your emails to your students. I know many of you are sending emails and parent squares and other communications home to your kids, and GIFs or GIFs are really easy ways to just add a little extra boost of positivity to reinforce the message that you're sending home to kids. I know not everyone has familiarity with how to find and use these, so I'm going to show you 3 ways of how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is open an email or a parent square message or some other message that you're sending to students and compose the writing that you'd like to include. The next thing you want to do is decide where you're going to include your GIFs. In mine, I'm going to be choosing 3 places, one between each paragraph. I have 3 focuses in this email. The first one is to tell students how much I miss them in my class. The second one is to explain how working at home helps keep their brains strong. And the third one is to talk about what they can do to stay safe at home, for example, washing their hands. For each of these GIFs, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to embed them. So the first one is just to do a simple Google image search with a filter. So I'm going to go to images.google.com. So now I'm going to type in some search terms that I think will get me the images I'm looking for. Searching in Google Images gives you all types of images, but I would just like to look at GIFs, the moving pictures. So after I've looked through a few of these different images, I'm going to scroll back to the top, and I'm not going to click on Settings. I'm going to click on Tools. And in Tools, there's a little filter called Type, and I'm going to click on that and then select GIF. Now all of the images that I'm viewing are GIFs, pictures that should move. So now I've selected one here, and you can see that after it loads, the little U clicks back and forth, and I think that that's the image that I'd like to select. But first I'm going to scroll through and look at a few others just to make sure that they're not what I'm looking for. So now that I've decided on this GIF, I need to right-click over the image and select Copy Image Location. That's going to allow me to embed it into my email. I don't want to select Copy Image because that will give me some problems and the GIF may not work correctly. Also, the picture quality may not be as good. So I select Copy Image Location. Now I go back to my email. I click in the place I'd like to insert it, and then I go to the bottom and I select the little picture icon. Now I click on Web Address URL and I right-click Paste. And now my image should appear in the preview. Then I can click the Insert button, and now it will be included in my email. GIFs often appear larger than you want them to be in your email, so the way to fix that is to click on one of these little blue boxes on the corner and rescale your image until it's the size that you want. You can continue clicking on the image, clicking and dragging those little blue boxes until it becomes the size that you'd like to include. Our second method for searching for a new GIF is to go to a website called Giphy, Giphy.com. Giphy is not a website that I would recommend for students to use. Not everything in it is school appropriate, but it is a safe for work, for the most part, search engine, as long as you use safe for work search tools. So I'm going to click on the search box at the top, and I'm going to include some search terms that I think will find me some GIFs that could go with my second paragraph having to do with exercising your brain. So I went through a lot of search terms before I finally found one that fit what I was looking for. First I looked for brain, but most of these were a little bit too creepy. Then I started looking at brain exercise, but I realized I was getting mainly the impact that exercise has on the brain. So from there, I decided to search for GIFs that had to do with mental exercises. That didn't help very much. So I finally switched to what if I thought about just thinking hard, if maybe that would give me a better result. And then finally, I found one that I thought would work for my email. So to use this one, I need to click on the Copy Link button to the right, and then 3 links will pop up, and I always want the middle one if I'm going to embed it in an email. So I take that one, I right click, I copy, then I go back to my email and I use the same process as before. I click where I want to add it, then I go to the little picture icon, click on Web Address URL, paste the URL in there and then embed it in my email. And like before, I can click on it and I can drag until it's a little bit smaller. The last way that you can include a GIF in your email is to create one of your own. To do that, I'm going to go to a website called makeagif.com. They have a searchable library, but it's not very good. So the better way to do this is to click on the Create a GIF link at the top of the page and select one of the options there. As you can see, there are several, but today I'm going to show you how to do it from a YouTube video. So I have already chosen a YouTube video about hand washing, and a section of it I'd like to use to create my GIF. So I'm going to go back, select YouTube to GIF from the menu. Then I'm going to copy and paste the address of the video in the box. Once I've done that, I can begin to select where I want my GIF to start. So the first thing I do is slide this little button over to the side to the place that I want my GIF to begin. The second slider will allow me to adjust the GIF length, which will let me take a larger part of the video to become my GIF. The third slider will allow me to adjust the speed of the GIF, how fast it will recycle over and over again. So once I have the start time, the length, and the speed correct, now I need to go and give it a category, and I need to change the name. So as soon as I've done those things, I'll be ready to save my GIF and import it into my email. So I'll click on Create Your GIF here. It will take a few seconds to process, and now I'll be opening into a window like this that will show me what to do with my final GIF. Before I can do that, I have one important thing I have to change. I have to go to this little toggle switch in the bottom right corner and change it from an MP4, which is a video file, to a GIF file. Fortunately, copying a link doesn't work with makeagif.com. It won't embed correctly. So instead, I have to download it to my computer, as I'm doing here by clicking the little download button, and it'll save it as an image to my hard drive. So now I can upload that image into my email. So instead of choosing a web address URL, I'm instead going to choose Upload. Choose Photos from my desktop or my Downloads folder to upload this image. It should be the first one there, and then I'm going to double click on it and it will upload into my email. Just like the others, I can now resize it and make it ready to send in my email. So now you've learned 3 different ways to include GIFs in your communication to your students. Have a great week. Thanks for watching.